The air will reek of pestilence. The winds will howl like demons released from hell. For 3 days and 2 nights, there will be an uninterrupted darkness over the entire earth. The only light will come from blessed candles, and anyone who opens their door or looks out a window will die on the spot. This isn't the plot of a horror movie. This is a prophecy attributed to one of the most revered saints of the 20th century, Padre Pio. A man who bore the wounds of Christ on his own body for 50 years. And what he supposedly saw coming for humanity is more terrifying than you can imagine. So, who was Padre Pio? To understand the weight of this prophecy, you have to understand the man. Born Francesco Forgione in 1887, he was a simple Capuchin friar from a small town in southern Italy. But his life was anything but simple. From a young age, he experienced heavenly visions, but also brutal physical assaults from the devil. For half a century, he bore the stigmata, the 5 wounds of Christ's crucifixion bleeding from his hands, feet, and side. Thousands flocked to him, seeking healing, confession, and guidance. He was known to read souls, to know a person's sins before they even spoke. He bilocated, appearing in 2 places at once. This was not just a holy man. He was seen by many as a living conduit to the supernatural. If you're fascinated by the intersection of faith and mystery, make sure you subscribe, because we explore stories like this every week. So, when a man with this kind of spiritual resume speaks about the end of the world, people listen. The prophecy describes the beginning with chilling clarity. It won't be a gradual dimming. It will be sudden. A great cross will appear in the sky, a final sign for those who might repent. Then, the sun, moon, and stars will vanish. An intense, freezing cold will descend upon the earth, accompanied by violent thunder and lightning that will shake the very ground. Earthquakes will rock every continent. The prophecy insists this is not a natural event. It's a divine chastisement, a purification. The instructions are stark. Go inside. Lock your doors and windows and cover them completely. Do not, under any circumstances, look outside. The wrath of God is not something the human eye is meant to witness. The darkness itself will be a physical presence, a suffocating blanket over the world. As if the physical chaos wasn't enough, the second day introduces a psychological torment. The prophecy warns that legions of demons will be released from hell. They will roam the earth, their shrieks and blasphemies filling the darkness. But their greatest weapon will be deception. They will imitate the voices of your loved ones, your mother, your father, your children crying for help outside your door. They will beg you to let them in. They will call your name. It's a cruel test of faith and obedience. The warning is absolute. Do not answer. Do not open the door. Anyone who goes outside or even looks out will perish instantly. The only protection is prayer, specifically the rosary, and the light from a blessed wax candle. According to the prophecy, no other light source will work. Not flashlights, not matches, nothing. Only the blessed candle will stay lit, and one will be enough to last all 3 days for a household. Let's break down the specific instructions for survival, because they are as much a part of the prophecy as the destruction itself. First, the blessed candles. These must be wax and blessed by a priest beforehand. The prophecy is adamant that diabolically made lighting will not work. Second, complete isolation. Seal all doors and windows. Draw the curtains. Do not look out. The idea is to create a sanctuary, a domestic ark, against the storm of divine and demonic fury raging outside. Third, constant prayer. Keep the rosary in hand. Pray with arms outstretched or prostrate on the floor, begging for mercy. This isn't a passive waiting game. It's an active spiritual battle fought from within your own home. And finally, have holy water available to sprinkle around the house, especially at doors and windows, to repel the evil spirits. These instructions paint a picture of a world where the veil between the physical and spiritual has been torn away, and only sacred objects and faith offer any real protection. After 2 nights and 3 days of terror, the ordeal ends. The earthquakes and the darkness will cease. On the 3rd day, the sun will rise again, shining with a brilliance never seen before. But the world it shines upon will be forever changed. The prophecy states that the earth will be purified. The air will be clean, like after a great flood. Those who survive will emerge from their homes to find a world cleansed of wickedness. The text suggests that a vast portion of humanity, perhaps as much as 2/3 or 3/4, will have perished. The ones who followed the instructions, who kept the faith in the darkness, will be the inheritors of this new earth. It is described as an era of peace, a time when God will be served and humanity will live in harmony. The terror of the darkness gives way to the hope of a complete renewal of the world. Now, we have to address the million-dollar question: is this prophecy authentic? The truth is, it's highly disputed. Unlike the secrets of Fatima, which were officially documented, the 3 days of darkness prophecy is primarily sourced from a letter allegedly sent by Padre Pio to a commission appointed by the Vatican. However, the Capuchin order, Padre Pio's own religious order, has never officially confirmed the authenticity of this letter. Skeptics point out that the language doesn't quite match Padre Pio's known writing style. They also note that apocalyptic prophecies have been a recurring theme in Catholic tradition for centuries, and this could simply be a collection of older prophecies attributed to a famous saint to give them more weight. Supporters, on the other hand, argue that the Vatican often suppresses sensitive information and that the message is entirely consistent with Padre Pio's worldview and his many warnings about the sinfulness of the modern world. There is no definitive proof either way, leaving it in the realm of private revelation, something believers are free to accept or reject. What makes the Padre Pio prophecy so compelling is that it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It echoes warnings from other approved and unapproved Catholic apparitions. In Akita, Japan, in the 1970 seconds, Sister Agnes Sasagawa received a message from the Virgin Mary, warning that if men do not repent, the Father will inflict a terrible punishment on all humanity. It would be a punishment greater than the deluge, one where fire will fall from the sky and will wipe out a great part of humanity. Blessed Anna Maria Taigi, a 19th century mystic, also spoke of a 3-day darkness that would annihilate the persecutors of the Church. The Book of Revelation itself speaks of the sun being blackened like sackcloth and the world being plunged into darkness. When you see these themes of darkness, fire, and purification repeated across centuries by different mystics and saints, it creates a pattern that is difficult to ignore, regardless of the specific authenticity of the Padre Pio letter. So how should we approach a prophecy like this today? Some theologians suggest that we shouldn't necessarily interpret it as a literal, 72-hour meteorological event. It could be a powerful metaphor for a great spiritual darkness, a time of ultimate crisis in faith, a collapse of morality, where the light of truth is almost extinguished from the world. In this view, the demons are not literal creatures roaming the streets, but the ideologies of hatred, division, and godlessness that tempt us to open the door to despair. The blessed candle represents the light of faith that must be kept alive in our hearts and homes when the world outside has lost its way. Whether literal or symbolic, the core message remains the same, a warning that a world that turns its back on God is heading for a period of profound crisis, a self-inflicted darkness. The only way through is to seal oneself in faith, prayer, and trust in divine protection. Ultimately, prophecies like the 3 days of darkness are not meant to paralyze us with fear. They are a call to conversion. They are a dramatic, urgent reminder that our choices matter and that faith is our anchor in a turbulent world. The purpose isn't to make you hoard candles and board up your windows, but to inspire you to live a better life today. It's a call to prayer, to reconciliation, and to recognize the light before any darkness comes. What do you think? Is this a literal prediction of the future, or a powerful spiritual allegory? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.